This week, we got a little treat from Samsung. Samsung released their One UI 4 with Android 12 beta for the Samsung Galaxy S21 series phones. So if you're rocking an S21, S21 Plus, or the S21 Ultra, you can register, download and install the beta on your phone. The biggest upgrade is Android 12. The One UI 3.1 and 3.1.1 that released with the Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3 comes with Android 11. So the One UI 4 upgrades not only the One UI software, that is the Samsung's Android skin, it also upgrades to Android 12. It's been a few days now. I've been using it in my S21 Ultra. I will admit, there are not a lot of changes that you will just turn on your phone and then suddenly say, wow, this is One UI 4. It looks very similar to the One UI 3. So what has changed? There are some core experiences Samsung has updated so it can remain consistent with Android 12, and that's exactly what has been the Beta 1 focus. And yes, this is Beta 1, so there are going to be subsequent beta releases that you will get for your Samsung S21 series, and who knows, things would change by then. So what we are about to see are the changes in Beta 1 release. So there will be subsequent releases, and hopefully Samsung will get some of the Material You design updates that Google has been driving with their Android 12 and Pixel 6 phones. In this video though, let's go look at all of the changes that Android 12 and One UI 4 brings to your Samsung Galaxy S21 series phones. So here is my S21 running the One UI 4 beta. And as you can see, there's not much changed from One UI 3.1. So most of the things what you're looking here will be very similar to your previous Samsung phone experience. But there are a few cosmetic changes like I mentioned before. First, starting with the notifications. The notification style, look and feel now matches the Android 12 experience. And if you notice, there are a few changes here. When you swipe notifications left or right, you used to get a half swipe gesture. That no longer exists. So if you swipe a notification, that'll get dismissed. However, if you expand a notification, you will see the notification bell button, and when you tap, you would get to snooze that notification. Or if you press and hold the notification, you will get the options to deliver the notification quietly, so it will go into your silent notifications, or you can turn off the notifications for this particular app, or go to these settings to manage notifications for this particular app. So small cosmetic changes here and there with the notifications look and feel. There's also one more update to the notification. If you have a media playing, like Spotify in this example, now you get a media output button right here to switch your media output from, let's say, your phone speakers to a Bluetooth headset, or even to your other Bluetooth connected devices. It just makes it easier for you to use that output rather than going into the media output menu that you can access from the quick panel. Talking about the quick panel, that has also received few small updates. You can now see that with a bigger control to manage brightness, it's just much easier to slide rather than the single line that you had before that was really cumbersome to reach that particular dot and manage your brightness level. So now it's much easier with this bigger control. And the other thing you can do here is also hide the devices and media output button and only show it when you expand your quick panel like I have here. To do that, you can go to the more options and then tap on quick panel layout, and there you'll have the option for brightness control to show always or to show when quick panel expanded. And same thing for devices and media button. You can also opt in to not show the buttons at all. Now notice this is beta. So what you're seeing here is a beta bug. So no, you will have some of these bugs all around the system. And that's why we are testing right now, and it's not available for everybody to install. Not a lot of updates to the home screen as well, but there is a new interface for the widgets to browse and add your widgets to your home screen. You can also search for the widgets right here from that search menu. Some of the widgets did get few updates, like there is a monthly calendar view with the events here on your right. And then if you notice, my clock widget shows the day and time as the background. And also there's a Samsung Internet widget that takes you directly to the browser. If you go into the home settings, now you have an option to configure the media page. That is to select either the Samsung Free or Google Discover. You can also turn it on and off from the settings menu. Again, notice here is a beta bug that is having some random text come up instead of saying it's configuring the media page. Now this isn't new. If you press and hold on your home screen and then swipe right, you had the option, and you still have the option to turn on this media page and select between the Google Discover and Samsung Free. But having it in settings just makes it easier for users to discover. I'm not sure why Samsung didn't have this earlier, but this is a great option for users to discover that they can have the option to select from Google Discover or Samsung Free. Okay, folks using GoodLock app, I have good news and bad news. Good news is that many of their modules and many of their family apps do support the beta, but there are apps that don't support the beta yet, and the team is working around the clock to support the beta, but it might just be a bit late to get that support. Until then, you can at least use few of these modules and enhance your Samsung experience. One interesting GoodLock app that has got some great update is the theme park. So with theme park, you can create Galaxy themes and install it on your Galaxy phones. Well, what is new with this app? This app now supports custom icons, the custom third-party icons that you download from the Play Store. Now that is great. So let me show you. So here is my actual Samsung theme that I get when I set up my phone, right? So I'm going to my theme park. I already created a few themes here. Let me install this green deer theme, and then you can see now this is going to install custom icon packs as soon as it's done. And it's not using any of the Samsung icon packs. There it is. So now all of my apps are using custom icons from the custom icon pack. This is great. We have been waiting for such customizations for so long from Samsung, but at least now we can get this update through the theme park app. Now, to set this up, all you have to do is make sure you download all of the icon packs from the Play Store, and then go to the theme park app, create a new theme, and then that's going to load up the wallpaper option, so you can select the existing wallpaper or select a new wallpaper and tap next. And this is where you can go to the icons section, and then you can tap on icon pack, and yes, you will first be greeted with the Samsung icon packs. If you scroll down, you should see all of your third-party icon packs you downloaded from the Play Store available for you. Tap on one of those icons, and then that will load all of the icons for your particular theme. Now, this is very buggy right now, so sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not, but again, this is a beta, so your mileage might vary. But I have gotten to have some themes work with third-party icon packs without any issues. I hope Samsung bring these features into the labs, because this is going to be a game changer in how you customize your Samsung phone beyond just using those default Samsung themes. Next up are a few updates to the display options. If you go to settings, tap on display, and then tap on eye comfort shield, you have two options. One is the adaptive mode and one is the custom mode. So if you turn on the eye comfort shield, it will turn it on in the adaptive mode, where it will automatically adjust your screen colors based on the time of day. So you don't have to have the same color temperature across the day. Rather, the Samsung phone will adjust accordingly. Now you can choose to custom, which was the case before the One UI 4 update. But I guess the adaptive being automatically adjusting your screen colors based on the time of day just makes it much easier to use this feature. The other option, you will find it under the accessibility settings. If you scroll down in your settings page, tap on accessibility and then tap on visibility enhancements. Now you have an option called extra dim. So this extra dim will dim the screen beyond the minimum brightness setting for a more comfortable viewing. So now, for example, if I turn on the extra dim, you can see how it reduces the brightness in my device. And if I turn it off, you can see it's back to my original brightness level that I had set. So it's really great. This option might be very useful during the nighttime browsing along with the eye comfort shield, or just in case you just want a more comfortable viewing to reduce the brightness even more. And there are other options for setting up the intensity and also turning off after restart. Now, if you want to add a shortcut, you can add that extra dim shortcut, and that will always put an accessibility button on the bottom right, so you can just tap on that to turn on the extra dim option. There is also another quick way to get to those options. So if you expand your quick panel, you now have buttons for the extra dim and buttons for eye comfort shield. So if you turn on the extra dim, it will minimize the brightness even further. And if you turn on the eye comfort shield, it will turn it on by default in the adaptive mode. The always on display has a new update as well. So if you go to settings and then go to lock screen and then tap on always on display, you now have the option to show for new notifications. So this is another great optimization. I know always on battery will always consume more battery. However, having it now to set up only for new notifications is a great way to enjoy that always on display on your Samsung phone. Next big update is on the privacy section. So if you go to settings and tap on privacy, now you have a new privacy dashboard that will show you the permission usage history for all the apps that have accessed the camera, microphone, and location on your device. You also have more options where you can completely turn off the camera and microphone access, so no apps and services on your device can access the camera and microphone. Now let's take an example. I have turned off the camera and microphone access, so now if I go and turn on my camera, you can see that it is going to ask me to turn on the camera access. Now, if I cancel, I won't be able to use my app, and it's going to come back again to say, hey, turn on the camera access and microphone access. So if I turn it on, now if I go back to my settings, you will see that the camera access and microphone access has been turned on for all the apps, not just the camera app. So that's the option that you should be very careful, is that the option here will turn on the camera and microphone access for all the apps. If you want to manage the permission for specific apps, of course, you can go to the permission manager, and here you can go into camera, and then there it will show you what are all the apps that are allowed to access the camera and what are all the apps that are allowed only while in use and things like that. That are not very new to One UI 4, but it's right there if you want to manage those very specific app settings. There's also a new privacy indicator that will tell you which apps are using your camera or microphone. For example, here's the camera app, and as soon as I turn on the camera app, you can see there is a green dot that on the top right. If I expand my notification and quick panel, you see there is also the dot right there, and tapping on that, it's going to show which app is currently using the camera and also the most recently used app that accessed the camera. In both my case here, it is the camera app. That's where you see the word camera. And here is another example where the privacy indicator is now showing the camera and microphone being used by my Twitter app. And yes, you also have two new quick panel buttons for toggling the camera and microphone access, which makes it way simpler to quickly disable these options if you want to. You can also monitor the clipboard access by toggling this option right here. That will give you an alert when an app accesses the text, images, or other content you have copied. So here's an example how the clipboard access works. So I'm in my Google Keep app, and I'm going to paste a bunch of text from Samsung Internet Browser, and you're going to see an alert come up here telling me exactly the same. There you go. So keep notes pasted from your clipboard. The device care settings has also been updated with few options. If you go to your settings and then scroll down and tap on battery and device care, you will see a new interface available here that is very different from your current Samsung phone running One UI 3. The good things about this particular interface update is that now you get a descriptive text showing whether the device is in a better condition, whether that is good, bad, or excellent. Right here it says good, and I can tap on optimize, and that's going to optimize the device for great experience, and it's going to tell me that everything is great right now. So you lose those numbers, which was like 80 by 100 or 90 by 100. That is like what those numbers mean, right? Now they are more descriptive to tell you whether your device condition is good, great, or bad. And also, if you scroll down, you will see additional care options. It will show you the software update, when was it last checked, and also it has the diagnostics option right here built into the device care. So if you tap on that, that will open the Samsung Members Diagnostics app that will allow you to perform tests if some of the things are not working on your phone. For example, the NFC, the SIM card, and even the touch screen. So great option for you to debug whether if something is not working on your phone. And if you tap on battery, now if you scroll down, you have more battery settings where you have two new options. In fact, one new option and one updated option. There's a new option called Protect Battery that is taking from the One UI 3.1.1. So this option will charge your battery up to 85% so that it can extend the lifespan of your battery. Of course, if you keep charging 100%, that's going to reduce your lifespan. And this option will automatically stop charging your battery after 85%. And you got an updated option here called Processing Speed. This was the enhanced speed option in One UI 3. But now if you tap on processing speed, you get three options to select from: optimized, high, and maximum. So if you're using some apps like maybe Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom, maybe you can select the maximum options for a few minutes or few hours and then switch to optimize. So you got that option now with the One UI 4. There's a new option in the settings that collects all of the safety and emergency information into one menu. So if you go to settings, tap on safety and emergency, you can see all of the information is collated here rather than being distributed across various settings. The Great Labs feature that is available in Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3 is now available in One UI 4 as well. So if you tap on settings and then tap on advanced features, you will see the labs option. If you tap on that, now that has some features that you can try out with your S21 Ultra. In this case, multi-window for all apps. So some apps like Instagram will not work for multi-window, but with this option turned on, it should. However, this is a beta, so it still doesn't work. So for example, if I try to drag and drop to open Instagram app in split screen view, it still tells me that it can't open this app in split screen view. So hopefully subsequent betas will fix this option, but you have now the option available, which means this is a good sign that this will come through the One UI 4 official update. A small update in the multitasking area. Not a lot, but very small. If you open an app in pop-up view, let's open the Reddit app in pop-up view. Now, if you tap on the blue bar, you have a new option to pin the window controls in the pop-up view. So you always have those controls up here. And now you can quickly expand or collapse or close this pop-up view. Previously, you had to tap on the blue bar to get to this option every time. So now if you feel like you want to pin that option, you have that ability in One UI 4. Of course, if you tap on the more options, you can unpin those options again. Picture-in-picture is now really good with the One UI 4 update, probably how it should have been from the start. So if I'm playing a YouTube video and then go to my home screen, you have your picture-in-picture come up. Now I can easily expand to a much bigger view with the picture-in-picture option, and I can drag and drop anywhere I want. And you can also see that it has rounded corners instead of the square corners, which is also great. So with two fingers, I can pinch in to reduce the size of my picture-in-picture display. I can pinch out to increase the size gradually, and then this is great. So this is much easier with One UI 4 than One UI 3. The share panel has received some great updates. So now if you want to share some images or any other thing from your phone and tap on share option, you will have the share sheet coming up. But unlike you have a vertical list in your One UI 3, you have a horizontal list of apps in your One UI 4. Now the good thing about this list is you can configure your favorite apps to show up first in this long list of apps instead of scrolling through all the way to where your app is. So in this case, for example, if I tap on more options and then tap on edit, you can see that I already have configured my favorite apps to show up first and then the other apps that come up here. So if I switch my Google Maps with Instagram, for example, and then go back and then share the items again, you can see I have my Instagram come up here, but not the Google Maps app that you were seeing previously. So a great way to organize the shared sheet so that you have your apps that you use frequently to come up first than the other apps that you might not mind able to scroll and pick them up later. Samsung Keyboard has few new features as well with One UI 4. The first one being the Grammarly integration. So if you go into the settings and then if you scroll down and tap on select third-party content to use, now you have the writing assistant Grammarly available with your Samsung Keyboard. With this writing assistant, you're not only going to be able to spell check, but also you would be able to correct your grammar. I use Grammarly all the time and it's great to see this integration come to Samsung Keyboard. Here's an example. You can see all of the words that are spelled wrong are using a green underline, and if you tap on that, you're going to get the suggestion. And on top of that, if you want to go and see all of the suggestions in one place, you can tap on the more options, and then this will bring up the Grammarly integration where it will list all of the issues that it found in your sentence or the words, and also gives you an explanation of why it thinks the correct word to use is the one that it suggests. So great stuff. If you already have Grammarly integration, you can sign in and use that Grammarly account. If you don't want to create an account at all, you can do that too. Here's a cool feature added to the Samsung Keyboard, which enables you to create a GIF by combining multiple emojis. So if you tap on emojis and then if you scroll, you will find this option where it shows two smileys together. Tap on that. Now you can combine multiple emojis together to create some really great animations. So you have some animations here that you can select from, but if you want to create a new, tap on the plus button. So now you can select another emoji to continue. Let's say we select this emoji, tap on next, and now you'll get all the animations with these two emojis together. Really fun way to take your emoji experience to the next level. And of course, if you're using the Messages app, you can always send this to your contacts, and then that will convert into a GIF message and then send it across. The camera app has been updated with some intuitive UX. So if you go into the camera app, now you will see instead of just icons, you have descriptive text for the zooming levels, which is great. So now you know what is the exact zoom level you're in instead of figuring out from the icons you have in One UI 3. Similarly, if you go to the Pro Video mode, everything is now descriptive as well. And you can see here it changes to ultra wide and wide angle lens. So it's much more easier to figure out what exact lens you're using in your Pro Video mode. And here in the bottom, you can see all of these different options available in the Pro Video mode is also now descriptive with the text rather than the icons. So really great way to enhance the camera app experience, because this will help everybody to understand what are the different modes that you're using. While taking a photo, if you want to quickly jump to a video mode, you can do that with One UI 4 by simply dragging up the shutter button, and then that will start taking the video. And if you want to continue taking the video, just release it in the lock icon, and then that will continue into video mode. So really easy way to get into video from photo, so you don't have to switch between different modes. Now with One UI 4, you can extend the time you have with your single take shot. By default, it gives you 15 seconds. Now, as you can see, it comes down to 5 seconds. You will get an option to add an extra 5 seconds, which is great. So that helps me to take lots of other photos too. There you go. So I can tap on that, and then that will add extra 5 seconds. And that only happens once, so it doesn't happen again. So just keep that in mind. Gallery app has few updates with One UI 4. In the Gallery app, you have a feature called Remaster Picture. Now this is available in One UI 3 as well. But the good thing about this feature, once it converts your picture and makes it better, you no longer have to save it as a separate picture. you can actually save it on top of the original picture so you don't have two copies. And if you want to revert back, you can just tap on more options again and revert to original. So that's a big change. Now you don't have duplicate copies, you just have one single copy. And notice that the more options is available on the top right and not in the bottom. So that's again a big difference in One UI 4 from your One UI 3, that the options are now available on the top right. And when you edit a picture, you got more options. You can add stickers and also draw over the picture. So here is the stickers list. So you can add all of the stickers that you would normally find in sending your messages, or AR emoji as well is available here. For example, here is my AR emoji. And now I can just drag and drop it here and then add it to my picture. And if I want to draw, I can draw that as well with my S Pen. So really great options to take your photo editing experience even better with these different editing annotation options. Now, these annotation options not only work with photo, but also with video. So the video editor you have in your One UI 4 becomes very powerful with the ability to add stickers and even drawings on top of the video. For example, here is a video that I have. I'm going to add a sticker and I'm going to tap on it so I can place it here. Now, as I place my sticker, notice I get a timeline below for me to work with. So I can now increase and decrease the timeline when the sticker would appear and disappear. So let's say we make it appear from the beginning till 2 seconds. And now I can go back and I can also draw something like this. And when I'm done drawing, I can go back and you can see now this shows up here in this timeline view. So now I know exactly where these things are going to appear. So if I go and play this video from the start, you will see my AR emoji here and with the drawing coming up next. So now I can save this as a separate video and share it with others. So great way to add more content to your photos and videos using this sticker and the annotation tool. Another option you have with the gallery app is you can actually now tag your photos. So if you look at the details by going to more options and then tapping on details, you have an option called tags. And if you edit, you have tags that you can add, as well as it will automatically find new tags for you based on the information on the photo. So here you can see I have tagged it as mountain and sky. And if you look at this photo here and go into the details, you can see there is an auto tag. And yes, Samsung will auto tag for the known elements in your photo. In this case, it is an animal, the squirrel. And of course, I can edit and add my own tags. And when you do that, you're still going to get suggestions that you can add. Calendar app has been redesigned in One UI 4. You can see this new UX where you have the calendar view and then the events view, and at the bottom readily available for you to quickly add an event. So this makes it much easier to work with calendar. If I want to add an event, I can just tap here and then add that event. And this supports adding events through natural language. So I can say something like doctor's appointment tomorrow 8 a.m. And then you can see it already highlights tomorrow 8 a.m. as the day that it's going to create this appointment. Now if I go and view for tomorrow, the doctor's appointment is added at 8 a.m. The timer app has got a good update. So when you open your clock app and go to your timer, and let's say you start a timer, now with One UI 4, when you come out of the clock app, you actually have a mini timer mode available just like picture-in-picture on your home screen. And it also reduces to this pill shape so you can keep track of the timer wherever you go using your phone. And if you want to pause on the timer, just tap on the pill and now you can pause, or you can also expand and go back to the app. One UI 4 finally brings eSIM support for Samsung Galaxy S21 series phones. So if you go to settings and then tap on connections, and now you have a new option called SIM card manager. Tap on the SIM card manager. Here you can add an eSIM option provided your carrier supports it. Of course, this is beta and it is not yet working. Even though you can add an eSIM plan, folks have reported that that does not enable the eSIM option in S21 Ultra. So the subsequent betas might actually have better eSIM support, but it's great to see that this is now available for the S21 series phones. So that was One UI 4 with Android 12. Like you saw, there are not a lot of changes to the One UI user interface. It still looks and feels like you're using your One UI 3, right? So hopefully Samsung will bring more updates to the user interface in the subsequent beta releases. Now the Material You design is very big for Android 12, at least for Google. That makes sense because the Material You is actually a design language built for Google, just like how One UI is for Samsung. So while I'm not expecting a lot of UI updates to come to the Samsung Galaxy S21 series through the One UI update, I think we'll see a little bit changes here and there for apps that Samsung drives with their phones. But if you have a spare phone, or if you're feeling adventurous that you want to go install and look how the One UI 4 with Android 12 is, go for it. I think you will not be disappointed. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this update? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give a big thumbs up. Until next time, bye.